When you meet Liberians, what comes across is their resilience, their strength.
How are you? Yeah, how are you?
The nation is scarred by civil war and more recently devastated by Ebola. But the people are focused on rebuilding their country and reclaiming their lives.
Healthy people, education people.
The Carter Center works in Liberia to help build a healthy, peaceful, and prosperous democracy. But we can only do that with partners. And those partners include civil society organizations, traditional leaders, healthcare workers, and all levels of government.
Liberia is considered a post-conflict success story, but we also are very mindful that while we've come a long way, we still have a longer way to go.
This is a country where the Carter Center has health programs, has multiple peace programs, and has observed every election that it's had for many years.
In 2017, the center observed Liberia's presidential election, marking the country's first democratic transition of power since the end of the Civil War.
I want to be part of the process to make sure that elections conducted in a smooth and transparent manner.
The fact that it was a peaceful transition gives us great reason to be optimistic that the country will continue on its trajectory of economic growth, security, and healing. To aid in the healing process, our mental health program has worked for nearly 2 decades to train hundreds of mental health clinicians. This means that a country with 1 psychiatrist in 2010 now has a robust mental health workforce in all 15 counties. And we are proud that Liberia recently passed its first law to improve health care for people living with mental illnesses and prevent discrimination against those people.
When you educate a leader, that means you are educating the citizen.
Our Access to Justice program reaches into the rural and traditional communities to help chiefs and villagers understand the law, know their rights, and settle disputes.
So when you speak here, that means you're speaking for women's condition in Liberia.
And women in these communities are not only finding their voices, they are being heard.
We need support to improve the lives of the women.
Women are playing an increasingly important role in community peace building. With support from the Carter Center, women organized anti-violence initiatives during this past election season. Women are now working to improve relationships with countries along Liberia's borders, sharing their own experience. And they continue to speak out about sex and gender-based violence.
So if you don't have information, you don't know how to go for your rights.
The first country in West Africa to pass a Freedom of Information law, Liberia had the will, but only limited capacity, to fully implement access to information across the country. So the Carter Center, with partners, of course, assisted the government in opening up those channels. Now, we also work to raise awareness of the value of information and how to obtain it, so citizens can hold government agencies accountable, seek greater transparency, and transform their own lives. I had the pleasure of visiting Liberia last August, and I met many wonderful people. But one event sticks in my mind. I was at a meeting with women community leaders, and I met the chairperson of the local community, Ma Bindu. And Ma Bindu turned to me and she said, "I used to be ashamed to open my mouth, but now, thanks to the Carter Center, I can speak anywhere." Ma Bindu has no formal education, but she's found her voice, a powerful voice, a compelling voice. And because of her voice and the voices of men and women in Liberia who are working to empower their communities, I believe Liberia has a bright future.